What have I been saying about Renaldo Cephas? What have I been saying about Cephas? Have you seen the type of performance Cephas put in against Dominica? Jamaica versus Dominica. Jamaica 1, Dominican Republic 0. We're going to get right into it. Hello again, my beautiful people, Jamaican youth in the building yet again. And in this video, we're here to react to Jamaica 1, Dominican Republic 0 in the opening World Cup qualifying game that we saw today. And with Jamaica opening their World Cup qualifying season, we see Jamaica getting the 3 points, getting a 1-0 victory on a goal by Shamar Nicholson, but really on a goal created by one Renaldo Cephas. So we're going to get right into it. But before we do, just want to do the YouTube thing. Want to ask you to hit the like button as it helps us send the video out to more eyes. And if you haven't done so, if you're new, please hit the subscribe button as this helps the channel to grow. We're trying to have the channel grow. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Jamaica 1, Dominican Republic 0. World Cup qualifying campaign got off to a start today. Of course, we saw the time of the game being shifted from 6:30 to 3:30. That may have affected the attendance to the stadium for the fans, but there were a decent amount of fans there. It's unfortunate because maybe the stadium would have been a little bit more full, but it's a good sign. I don't think I've seen so many people in the stadium in a long time for a Jamaica game. So it shows some improvement, and we have to give credit to the marketing team of the JFF, the people who they have hired to market the game, even though, you know, we can't even really get to judge them properly because the thing gets shifted, the time gets shifted. This seemed to have been a problem by Independence Park Jamaica Limited, the company that is actually maintaining the national stadium. They did not have the light bulbs that is necessary to get CONCACAF approval for this game, and so they had to shift the game from 6:30, which would have been a night game and probably have more attendance, they have to now shift it back to 3:30 because they were now going to use the daylight. So it turned out to be a 1-0 victory for Jamaica. Overall, not the most convincing victory. It's a 1-0 victory. I think a lot of fans were hoping that Jamaica would have walloped Dominican Republic. It never really turned out like that. Dominica, a plucky type of team, but in my estimation, Dominica was never going to beat Jamaica. Even watching the game itself, Dominica was never going to beat Jamaica. It was really Jamaica's game to lose. Luckily, we never lost the game, but we could have scored more goals. We saw where Renaldo Cephas, who is the man of the match without a doubt, even though he never scored, is definitely at least my man of the match, Renaldo Cephas. Even the commentator was saying Cephas has been a nightmare for the defenders on Dominican Republic team. I want to talk about him in a second, but we say the Shamar Nicholson goal that gave us a 1-0 lead and in turn gave us a 1-0 victory for that game. And then we saw a penalty being won by Renaldo Cephas, taken by Bobby Reid, but it hit the post. You know, it was a good penalty. He really kicked a good shot to goal, but it hit the post. I don't know how angry I should be at him about it. I mean, obviously I would have wanted it to score, but it's just one of those penalties that probably should have scored, but it didn't. And we should have walked away with at least a 2-0 victory, but that didn't happen. Such is life. The most important thing, though, that I'm glad about is that we started off the campaign with the 3 points. We got the W. We got the first game in the win column, so I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. Once Jamaica keeps winning each of their games going forward, I'll be satisfied and happy. So, you know, let's talk about Renaldo Cephas before I give my general observations of the game. Renaldo Cephas was a one-man wrecking crew today, man. He was significantly problematic down that left wing for Jamaica, man. Like, those defenders were having problems. Man, he was speeding past them. He was causing them some serious problems, which is what I've been saying for a while now. That Cephas, if he gets a chance in this team, he is going to hold down a place in this team. Whether or not the full squad comes back, Cephas has to be in contention. He has to play more games for Jamaica. Because he is one of our most, dangerous threats on the attacking end. You know what I mean? He won a penalty at the end of the first half. That should have been a penalty. And it's sad that VAR is not there, and maybe if there was more crowd there and kind of putting pressure on the referee to review it. I don't know if VAR was a part of it anyway, but if it was, and that was reviewed, I think that would have been a penalty. And then he came back in the second half again, and he won another penalty. And that goal that he passed over to Shamar Nicholson, one of the easiest goals Nicholson will score for Jamaica. He created that goal. The speed of Renaldo Cephas is nightmaringly dangerous. I'm telling you, this guy, trust me, I really enjoyed watching him play against Dominican Republic today. He was outstanding. Cephas was outstanding, man. My man of the match, for sure. And I'm pretty sure for those people who were at the game, or those of you who watched the game, you probably would agree that he was the man of the match. His performance was outstanding. And even the commentator was saying it, because I was watching it on YouTube. The commentator was saying, like, that man, Renaldo Cephas, has been a nightmare for those Dominican Republic defenders. That's what they're saying. But, I mean, you could have seen it yourself. I mean, his performance was outstanding. But, separate and apart from that, I think the performance, while I didn't feel like Dominican Republic, before the game and even watching the game, I didn't really get the feeling that they were ever going to be a major threat to Jamaica. If Jamaica lost this game, it would be on us. It's like one of those games where you're expected to win, and if you didn't win it, you were the reason. This was Jamaica's game to win or lose. Again, luckily we won it. But Dominican Republic gave us a little bit of scare here and there, but nothing too crazy. I think Jamali Waite was outstanding in goal. The starting lineup with Jamali Waite, Tavon Gray, Greg Lee, Damian Lowe, Michael Hector, Deshaun Bernard, Daniel Johnson, Renaldo Cephas, Bobby Reid, Mikel Antonio, and Shamar Nicholson. Decent starting lineup. A starting lineup that should have been able to get the job done. The midfield question is still not answered. We still haven't had. We still don't have anyone that is controlling the game in midfield. That is still a big question mark. It's still left in the middle of the park for us. It's just not happening there. We don't have anyone that's controlling the game there. So if you look at how a lot of the players played, Jamali Waite was solid in goal as usual. Michael Hector and Deshaun Bernard had decent games. Greg Lee, to me, I'm yet to see Greg Lee play a bad game for Jamaica. I'm being honest. Greg Lee, I don't think I've ever seen him play a bad game for Jamaica. Greg Lee was his usual very good player. I don't even know how that player is not playing Premier League football. Sometimes, to be honest with you, between me and you, I think Greg Lee plays that left back position a little bit better than Amari Bell. And that's saying a lot about him, because I think Amari Bell is outstanding in left back. I think Amari Bell is pretty good as a left back. But there's just something about the way Greg Lee plays that left back position. He gets so high up the pitch, but it's never in a way where he's not back to do his defensive duties. Greg Lee just plays that position with ease, to the point where sometimes he's playing as a winger. That's how he scored that goal against the US, because he in the Nations League he plays so high up the pitch. Sometimes I don't think that would have been something an Amari Bell would do, and that's not throwing in the shade at Amari Bell by any means. It's just an observation that he plays that left back position really well. So he played well. Tavon Gray, not really much of a factor in this game. I didn't see how he influenced the game too much. Daniel Johnson and Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe got an early yellow card and had to come off halftime. Damian Lowe is always an influential player, but he kind of needs to tone it down in terms of the tackles. But Daniel Johnson and the other midfielder there, what was it? Damian Lowe, Daniel Johnson in midfield. Daniel Johnson wasn't really unsung today. I don't think so. I don't think he was, and that's kind of the reason why I think we're still looking for that midfielder that can come in and really take control of the midfield, because it didn't look very controlled today. It's the one area of the park that I think is still a big question mark is there. In the game, I think Karoy Anderson came on at halftime. Anderson was a little bit more expressive, but still not to the extent where I would say he's the answer. And maybe he needs a little bit more time. I'm willing to give him a little bit more time, because he hasn't gotten a lot of playing time as yet. A lot of people are very excited about him, but today wasn't the day that I would say he's the answer. So maybe he needs a little bit more time. Cephas, you hear that I talked about him, very outstanding. Bobby Reed was busy over the pitch today, so he put in a decent shift. Mikel Antonio, workhorse-like, workman-like, but you need to put the ball in the back of the net, big Mick. Yeah, you need to put the ball in the back of the net, man. It's been a while since we've seen you do that. So we really want, we know that you're still working your way back, because, even though Mikel Antonio came back for West Ham and has been playing well, international football is a different animal, so he still probably needs a little bit more game time to kind of get it going a little bit, but still, we need to see some goals from Mikel Antonio. And Shamar Nicholson, he put away the chance that he got, tried and pressed, he also pressed the Dominican Republic defense, but outside of that, not really much of a contribution. I think the most outstanding player on the pitch was Renaldo Cephas. I think Greg Lee had an outstanding game as well, and Jamali Wade was solid in goal. The defense looked decent as well, but overall not a very convincing win, even though a win is a win is a win is a win. I will take the 3 points, and we just have to build on that from here, because we're missing a lot of key players. We're missing Bailey, we're missing Gray, we're missing Blake, we're missing Ethan Pinnock. We're missing Joel Latibodere, we're missing Casey Palmer, we're missing quite a few players. So we'll take the win. But with what we have right now, I'll take the win and hope that in the next game we move forward. Kaheem Dixon looked lively when he came on in the latter stages of the game. He's a player that I would like to see maybe get a good 25 minutes, because I think he would be dangerous. 25 to 30 minutes. I think he would be a very, very good distraction for the defense, because he's an unknown quantity. But overall, I take the win. We want to move on from here. In the future, I hope we fix this light situation at the National Stadium, because we cannot have this World Cup qualifying campaign. I think the fans have bought in to the idea that we have a very good chance of winning, qualifying for the World Cup, and the fans are willing to play their part. and the JFF did a good thing by getting a marketing company to market the game. I saw some improvement today. The stadium looked like there were more people there. And I think had the game held at the correct time that it was marketed at initially, the stadium would have had more people. So in the future, we need to get those things right. Independence Park Limited, fix the light situation today. Don't wait. Make sure you get it passed by CONCACAF now, so that when the time comes for the inspection to be done in the future, you've already passed it. Don't wait. Delay is danger. My mother used to say that all the while. Delay is danger. Don't delay. Get it done. So we want to fix that situation. We hope to see back some of the players. I know we might not see them back for the Dominica game, which is the game coming up in the next few days. Another game I'm expecting us to win. But for, hopefully for Copa America and for the Nations League later on in the year, we want to see back the players so that we can be at full strength. So I'm going to leave it there, everyone. On your way out, please hit the like button. It helps us send the video out to more eyes. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, as it helps the channel to grow. And until next time, everyone, walk good, take care of yourself. I'm out.